So I was in the session that was asking a question. So is personalized medicine an essential or an unaffordable luxury in the low and middle income countries? So there were four of us talking from the different perspectives about the low and middle income countries. And I'm an economist, so I was speaking from that perspective. Well, like the usual academics, it's on the one hand, on the other hand. So on the one hand, to try and point out the areas in which low and middle income countries already benefit from molecular diagnostics, particularly in the areas of infectious disease, but also for cervical cancer. And then on the other hand, to talk about the areas that probably are unaffordable for countries, things like the genomic tests for breast cancer are really at the moment out of the reach of most people in the developing world, except for probably the upper middle income countries like, Malaysia. Yeah, so one interesting thing, the four of us who were presenting, we've been collaborating on a potential series for the Lancet on pathology, focusing on the needs of the low and middle income countries. And so it's been submitted, it's not yet been accepted. But one of the conclusions from that is that what we need is a global alliance in the same way that the Global Alliance on, the Global Fund for AIDS, TB and Malaria, and Gavi, which was the Global Alliance for Vaccines and Immunization, has worked to shape the market to make therapeutics and medicines available to low and middle income countries at lower prices than are available in the high income countries, and then also to try and direct some of the innovations to the needs that are faced in low and middle income countries, which have somewhat different health needs than the high income countries. Oh, absolutely. Coming into this and as an economist, there's very, very little that's been done to know about what the economics of diagnostics were in the low and middle income countries. So a good part of my work over the last couple of years has been to try and pull together data on this. I think the future is promising with new technologies. There'll be more potential for getting more data in these countries, but because they lack so many of the resources that the high-income countries have, things are often a little bit behind. The audience, I guess, were predominantly felt that low and middle income countries should have access to these technologies, but there were a couple of people who were skeptical, and we took a second vote at the end of the session, and the ones who were skeptical were still skeptical, but we had a great debate in the middle.